Listen to me, I'm talking. I'm assuming you graduated from high school, right?
8th grade.
You went through 8th grade.
If there's evidence provided against me, I have a right to defend myself using that very same
That
evidence.
wasn't the question I asked you.
That's
You do have a right to defend yourself, Mr. Raymer. I'm just
my
simply-
right for violence.
I'm talking, you're not. If you don't stop talking and listen to me so I can go through my speech, I will send you over to the jail.
You're the one that signed the warrant for my arrest while I was in jail.
I don't know that. I don't remember.
Yes, you did do that.
Okay, I'm allowed to do that.
No, you violated my rights.
Okay.
I'm not gonna take any of the attorneys from here because they're all corrupt.
In the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Shane Leroy, FH. This is a date and time set for a final pretrial conference. Today was the motion deadline for both motions and motion in limines to be heard.
Welcome back, guys. So in today's clip, we've got a sovereign citizen who somehow thought it was a good idea to go toe-to-toe with the justice system without a lawyer and with a legal strategy that sounds like it came from a cereal box. This man is literally trying to dodge prison time by using buzzwords like living soul and common law rights, while the judge just sits there looking like she just walked into a prank show. It's honestly wild how confident he is while being completely wrong, like he read one paragraph of a conspiracy blog and decided he's smarter than everyone else with a law degree. But real question, should courts even allow people to represent themselves when their entire case is built on make-believe? Let's dive in and watch this whole train wreck play out.
Instructions were to be provided to the court by April 2nd, along with any proposed voir dire questions. We are set for trial on April 22nd of 2025. Mr. Raymer, you are charged with police officer resisting and obstructing causing injury, which carries a maximum penalty of up to 4 years in prison. Police officer assaulting, resisting, and obstructing, that carries up to 2 years in prison. There's 2 of those. And then there's a disorderly. And what is the plea offer in this file?
Your Honor, the people have offered to a plea of 2 counts to attempted R&O.
All right.
So 2 misdemeanors, and we would kill a brute, no upfront jail.
All right. Mr. Raymer, the plea offer in this case was to plead to 2 one-year misdemeanors with no upfront jail. And there'd be like 12 months or so of probation and some minimal fines and costs. Do you understand that? All right. Now, Mr. Raymer, you know, I'm assuming you graduated from high school, right?
8th grade.
You went through 8th grade, and this is a felony that could result in you going to prison. Why don't you stand in front of that podium for me? So do you understand an attorney can help guide you through the legal process?
Yes, I tried to have, I almost had a public defender. Unfortunately, she wasn't representing me appropriately. I'd asked for another one, but.
So I have no authority over who gets appointed. You're appointed an attorney.
I understand that, but when they're not representing you appropriately.
Okay, I didn't ask that. I'm just saying you have a right to an attorney. I know the attorney you're referring to. She's diligent. She works hard. Maybe you didn't like, I know when I was a public defender, sometimes my clients didn't like what listen to me, I'm talking. My clients didn't like the things that I told them. But, you know, her job isn't to do what you want. Her job is to represent the law. So you understand at this point, you can hire an attorney, or you can go with the public defender and whoever they assign you, or you can go to trial pro per with no law degree, no experience, and risk going to prison. You're going to represent yourself.
I'm gonna represent I ain't got no choice but to represent.
Have you provided your jury question, the voir dire questions? Because if you haven't, they're waived.
If there's
no, if they were due.
If there's evidence provided against me, I have a right to defend myself using that very same.
That wasn't the question I asked you.
You
do have a right to defend yourself, Mr. Raymer. I'm just
my right for violence.
I'm talking, you're not. If you don't stop talking and listen to me so I can go through my speech, I will send you over to the jail. Do you understand? All right. You have not filed any motions. Jury instructions were due and voir dire questions were due. You have not provided those. We gave you a copy of this. So do you understand what I've received is what will be used? Yes or no?
I will be allowed to ask my questions.
This guy walked into court with the confidence of someone who just skimmed a Wikipedia page on law and decided he was ready to battle a judge. Like, I swear he probably watched one conspiracy theory video and thought, yeah, I'm ready to represent myself in a felony case. Meanwhile, the judge is sitting there trying not to laugh while this man uses the word jurisdiction like it's a magic spell. If courtroom delusion were an Olympic sport, this guy already got the gold. No warm-up needed.
What question?
When I'm cross-examining, I will get my.
I'm talking about juror question. I'm talking about jury instructions and voir dire questions. You understand now? You didn't file. Listen, I know, but you waived that because you have not provided them. Do you understand that? Do you understand that?
No, I don't. I don't
Okay.
understand that. I didn't understand that.
Okay, well, I
That's why
can't
I'm
advise
supposed to
you of the law because I'm not an attorney, I'm a judge.
No, but you
So-
were looking at the case and you've been presiding over my case for 3 years now.
I know, it's fine. You're
the one-
gonna go to
You're the one
trial.
that signed the warrant for my arrest while I was in jail.
I don't know that, I don't
Yes,
remember.
you did do that.
Okay, I'm allowed to do that.
No, you violated my rights of
Okay,
privacy.
well, you have options. You can file a complaint with the JTC if you'd like. So are you prepared to go to trial?
Absolutely.
Have you provided your witness list?
I haven't yet, but I will.
Okay, that was due.
My witness list was provided when, Ms. Underwood was my attorney,
Okay,
and my witness list is.
have you subpoenaed any witnesses that were not on the prosecutor's raised just eyewitness list?
Yes, my witnesses are the ones that was there at the scene.
No,
And,
do
yeah,
you understand that you have to provide a witness list and you have to provide a copy to the prosecutor? Do you understand that?
prosecutor, I gotta provide what to him?
So if you're gonna have witnesses at trial, you need to make sure the prosecutor has their name and contact information so that they could interview them prior to trial if they wanted. Do you understand
Well,
that?
they got all that information.
They do?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
so,
my witnesses are my parents and my aunt.
okay, I don't know. Are those on, if they're not on the people's witness?
Curtis, Penny,
Okay,
and Rose.
if you haven't provided a witness list and they're not on the people's list, you understand you won't be able to call them.
Okay, I will provide the information. I
Okay.
can provide that information. Yeah.
I'm just telling you. So you need to make sure that there's a witness list in the file that was provided to the people.
So I gotta re-provide it.
I don't know. Go back and look at what
I'll
witness
just-
list
I'll
has
just
been
do that
filed, their name, their contact information. And then any subpoenas you have to do, if you have to subpoena anybody to be present, you need to get those filed this week. And then the court signs them and then you serve those people with those.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Now, do you understand when we go to trial, a lot of times some of the questions you ask or he asks may be objected to, and it's not personal, it's just, we have to follow the law.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm allowed to object too, though, right?
huh?
I'm allowed to object too.
You are, and then you have to provide the basis for that objection.
Yeah.
Okay, so you need to understand your objections. So you might want to do some research to understand.
I've been doing.
Good, good. You sure you don't want a public defender for trial?
Huh?
You sure you don't want an attorney for trial?
I'm not gonna take any of the attorneys from here because they're all corrupt.
This man really pulled the I don't trust lawyers card and then acted like his relatives were expert witnesses from Harvard Law. It's giving backyard court energy, like if Judge Judy met a family reunion with subpoenas. I swear the only legal advice this dude follows is probably written in crayon on a napkin somewhere, and somehow he's still shocked when the judge doesn't let him turn the courtroom into an open mic night for nonsense.
So, Ms. Battle,
All right, the court will call the case of the Ranches of Rosebrook versus A Nice Battle, case number 25C-1245.
good afternoon, Your Honor. David Fantair on behalf of the plaintiff.
Ms. Battle, please hit *6, unmute your device. And state
Hello? Hello?
please state.
It's a niece battle on a special appearance for the record to contest the jurisdiction and the facts before this court.
Yep. All right. Well, Ms. Battle, I'll tell you that this matter is appropriately in the correct court. The court does have jurisdiction.
And it's based on what? What is on the record that is based on that the court has jurisdiction?
The fact that this is a case that is within the jurisdiction of the Township of Ypsilanti, and if you have issues related to any contracts, that would be within this jurisdiction as well. So all of that is within the jurisdiction of this court.
So you're saying that the contract is in jurisdiction of the court?
That is what I just said, ma'am.
All right, and the contract has been rescinded. So how is the contract in the jurisdiction of the court if it's invalid?
Who gets to rescind a contract on their own? That's
What are you talking about? I have the right to rescind a contract by right of common law.
Ms. Battle,
That doesn't involve court.
ma'am, you need to stop talking or you're going to get held in contempt of court. Mr. Fantier, have you had a chance to talk to Ms. Battle? I talked to Ms.
You're breaking up. I can't hear you.
Mr. Fantera, do you need to speak with her or are we ready to?
if you want me to speak to her, I'll speak to her. I mean, she talks about rescinding the contract. Does that mean she's moving out?
I'm sorry, you're breaking up.
Are you moving out?
Are you moving out?
No. Why would I have to move out?
Because if you rescind a contract, okay, fine. Your Honor, I think let's set this for trial.
Okay. One moment.
This case has also been in the, it's in the circuit court. A petition filed for an injunction. I did serve you all. It is set on the 30th.
Yes, ma'am, I heard.
We're aware.
Okay. And once again, I do not submit to the jurisdiction of the court. The contract is rescinded.
So how can the
And I am
contract,
not a legal person.
you're not a legal
How
person?
can a contract? No, I'm not a legal person. I'm not a legal entity. No, I am not. And you have to prove that on the
Stop
record.
talking.
Actually, I don't.
I'm sorry.
Can I ask Ms. Battle a question, Your Honor, real quick?
Sure.
So Ms. Battle, so you can live there forever without paying rent because you're not a legal person?
That's not what I'm saying, but the contract itself is invalid. I'm saying that you don't have any personal.
This woman just gave the courtroom version of saying, my dog ate the Constitution. Like, I don't know how you say something that confidently and wrong at the same time. The judge looked like she was trying not to laugh and scream at the same time, which is impressive because I would have just unplugged the mic and walked out. Do you think people like this actually sit down and rehearse these arguments, or do they just wake up and freestyle nonsense until they're escorted out by security? Let me know what you think because my brain is still buffering.
Or subject matter jurisdiction over me. Over an invalid contract? No. And over me not having the legal capacity to be sued? Yes. So if that's how you want to take it, then that's how you have to take it. But that's what's lawful and that's what's written in the law.
Let me just tell you, I think you're wrong on both counts. I would expect that we would.
It's okay for you to think that I'm wrong, but the facts still align with what I'm saying.
Okay, Your Honor, I think we should have a trial.
You have to prove without the reasonable doubt. So let the record show that the judge has not required the plaintiff to prove without a reasonable doubt that I am a legal person, and it's on the record, not assumed, not presumed, on the record. There's nothing that's on the record that states.
Ms. Battle, first of all, reasonable doubt is a standard in a criminal case, not a civil case. So I do not have to prove anything beyond a reasonable doubt.
I need both of you to stop talking, please. Both of you, I'm sorry. I cannot figure out the date because I can't hear over the two of you.
I apologize. I didn't know that's what you were doing, Your Honor.
This matter will be scheduled for May 6th at 3 p.m. for a trial on any and all issues that may be before the court. Ms. Battle, if you have anything else that you need to say, you can unmute yourself by hitting *6 to do that.
Okay, I just find it ironic that I got muted when I was speaking on jurisdiction and how there was a lack thereof on the record. So I want that to be on the record. But I also wanted to, okay, that's fine. And I also wanted to be on the record that I am not going to be able to show up on May the 6th. So it's also ironic that you are able to verify with him that he's able to show up and not with myself.
I just asked you that, and you are now talking about something else. Why can't you do this?
That's because you cut me off and put me inside of a break room and muted my mic instead of allowing me to speak on what needs to be spoken on.
By Zoom? By Zoom?
Correct.
All right. Thank you, Your Honor.
It's ridiculous. This is a fraud upon the court. Goodbye.
She really walked into court like she was auditioning for a role in Law and Disorder. I mean, you can't just live somewhere for months, not pay a dime, and then act confused when someone tells you to leave. That's not how leases or reality work, and the way she kept talking over the judge like she was on a Facebook Live rant instead of inside of a courtroom is just wild. Judges are legally allowed to hold you in contempt if you interrupt or refuse to follow instructions, and honestly, I was waiting for that moment the whole time. But what really got me was how confident she was in her nonsense. Like, she genuinely believed she had some higher knowledge of the law, even though everything she said sounded like it came out of a conspiracy group chat. She didn't quote a single actual law, just vague vibes and made up phrases. And the judge still tried to be respectful the entire time, which deserves a medal or at least a nap. But anyways, let me know in the comments if you think court went too easy on her or if it was fair. And if you like watching courtroom drama that feels like reality TV with legal consequences, make sure to like and subscribe. I drop new videos every day and it only gets crazier from here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.